A motion come out of executive.
So moved. Second.
A second. I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Harlan, second by Councilwoman Foreman. No discussion. Call for the question.
Councilwoman Harlan.
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn.
Yes.
Councilman Red Eagle.
Yes.
Chairman Walton.
Yes.
Secretary Yates.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
We have an executive. I would entertain any motions to come out of executive. Hearing none, I'd like to move on down the agenda item. Under old business, Baker Petrolite, we had discussed it with Mr. Chestnut this morning. Council had some concerns and we'd asked that it be tabled to the 19th. I need a motion. Motion table, I'll second it. I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Harlan, seconded by Chairman Waller. Call for the question.
Councilman Redcorn.
Yes.
Councilman Red Eagle.
Yes.
Chairman Waller.
Yes.
Secretary Yates.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have housekeeping under rescinding resolution 4-243, and that's getting the appraisal and effort on the Robert Schroeder property. Just as in the meeting with the Osage Nation, the executive and Congress this week, we had discussed these efforts, that anything that runs through the process that we're using now with the MIFA and MOUs, of course, that would all fall under the nation. And with this not being necessary, I'd like to entertain a motion to rescind it.
So moved.
Thank you so much. I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Harlan, seconded by Councilman Red Eagle. With that, I'd like to call for the question.
Councilman Red Eagle.
Yes.
Chairman Waller.
Yes.
Secretary Yates.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan.
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And thank you. And as I said in further discussion, we had mentioned this in our meeting. I think later on, we will actually have already sent the resolution to bring the items here to our office. I'd like to take a motion to table the committee review.
So moved.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Foreman, seconded by Councilman Redcorn. Call for the question, please.
She stepped out.
I am so sorry, Dick. I'm just not used to this going so good, so fast.
A motion by Councilwoman Foreman, a second by Councilman Redcorn to
That's correct, dear.
table this matter to the 19th on the committee review.
Item 6C.
And we're waiting on you to call the roll.
Chairman Waller.
Yes.
Secretary Yates.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan.
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn.
Yes.
Councilman Red Eagle.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yes, and with that, I'd like to add one item that is a housekeeping item for us over the assignment of the lease in the Northwest Quarter, Section 1, 24-6, Range 6 East, containing 160 acres, lease number 4-237. When we did our first resolution for this acreage, it was MT&S Oil Company, and it's now changed to Why Not Double Up LLC, and we have to have a resolution just to approve the name change,
Yeah, we're just amending the original resolution to
amending the original resolution.
say why not double up instead of MT.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And second, I have a motion on the floor by Secretary Yates.
Everything's remains the same, 3-year lease for $3,500 and 20% royalty.
Yes,
Just a
sir.
name change.
Yes, sir. Everything stays the same except for that. We were requested through the application through the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So this will cover that. Council?
Call for the question.
Call for the question, please.
Secretary Yates.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan.
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn.
Yes.
Councilman Red Eagle.
Yes.
Chairman Waller.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And I will say this, now that we have made the motion, I have talked to Why Not, and they've got other information where they're going to come after some more leases. Approximately 3 more that I just reviewed. Okay. With that, I'd like to entertain the motion over the minute meetings.
I'd like to make a
Meeting
motion to
minutes.
approve the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor, I'm so sorry, by Councilman Redcorn and a second by Councilwoman Harlan. Call for the question, please.
Councilwoman Foreman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlan,
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn,
Yes.
Councilman Red Eagle,
Yes.
Chairman Waller,
Yes.
Second Chair Yates.
Yeah.
Motion passes.
Motion passes, and I'd like to entertain excuse me, real quick, anything we need before we go on to the 19th.
Yes, sir.
I did ask council, that there was a couple of efforts that we're probably gonna have some conference calls before the 19th, so we can, update the council, and we'll get to that with you probably after everyone gets home from National Conference America.
Mr. Chairman,
Council, second.
I was going through, thinking there's some important dates coming up. We might need to get them out on, like the draft EIS, the comment period, I think it's in sometime in
Oh,
February 21st. Remember that was my daughter's
Yes.
birthday.
excellent. Oh,
But there's some other items, seem like there's some other important dates.
Would you repeat that date again?
February 21st, I think, is the deadline for the EIS. Is that correct?
21st and 22nd.
One of those 2 days. Yeah. Okay, please add in the other date that we
I
discussed.
could not tell you. I'm just sitting there thinking this, I was doing a 30-day scheduling out, and I kept thinking, I know there's some important dates coming
well, there's
up.
the DEMP consultations
March
coming up
10th.
in March, yeah.
March 10th. So we might review what's coming up, and anyone can think of it, brainstorm, get it out to the rest of the council.
Yeah.
And also that the consultation meeting is targeted tentatively for March the 11th.
Did they give us some alternative dates?
Ma'am, that week. But Mr. Streeter had requested possibly the 11th.
You guys put that on the agenda for the 19th?
Yes, sir.
I'll just tell you right now, I can't be here that week, but, I mean, I can catch up afterwards.
Or, and it could possibly, I've got some dates too that might be conflicting. I'll have to ask for something else.
I would like to also ask, Mr. Pipestem to, send us some kind of an update on this comment and what points they're gonna be making.
Yes, I've reviewed some of them and that's gonna be other consideration.
Coming on the-
Reviewed the other comments also by what's already been delivered. I can see their point, but ours needs to be a little directive of the federal effort. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to add?
One question on that March 10th, DEMD, is there any reason, should the rest of the council maybe go to that one?
What I would recommend is that we hear what they're gonna say, and if there's something concerned, we can get a plan together, and we can decide how we're gonna present that.
A statement?
So we need to put that on the agenda for the 19th to approve travel,
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's
When
one
is
of
the
those.
NCAI?
for those who want to go. I mean, there's some,
This week, coming up?
Okay.
Next week.
DEMD is going
So
to
you'll
have
be
an
able to
open
tell us
hearing
something.
session.
I'll make sure there's
Do we need a resolution to allow travel or not?
on DMD consultation.
from what.
Hard Rock's worth.
Monday, Tuesday.
Make sure that
Okay.
that's on the
Then
agenda,
we'll see what we
joining
need
this
going on.
effort right here.
Just so that we're aware that it's
And,
coming up.
Mr. Pipestem's going to
I heard the same thing about
get this,
whether
the,
it was a good idea or not.
we already sent a letter in over at DEIS and we'll codify that part. And, he'll bring that to the council to look at on the 19th.
Are we talking about the EIS?
Yes,
We have our council's the lead on that.
yes, sir.
Yeah, we need to,
He just got to ask for it.
well, I'm waiting to hear from him first before we make any decision on EIS.
Just if I can, really short report on that. So we have different teams from ones working on that, different parts of it. They're submitting their comments or draft comments to me, and I'm organizing that. Our view, our law firm, is gonna be focused on the law and policy as we advocate for that. The kind of technical side of that, there's different people on the team working on that. They're gonna be submitting that to me. We'll aggregate it, review it together, make sure you get it so you can make comments on that, and then we'll get it together for filing on the 21st. So those parts of it, I haven't reviewed, like the technical parts, and that's what we hired them to do, right? That's so, the ones people, my report to you on how it's going with ones is so far so good. I mean, they have been very diligent about what they're doing. Their responses to questions have been very professional, so far so good with ones. I think everything seems to be going on a good path there. Ultimately, I think we'll be evaluated on our final product and how we end up on this EIS, right? The goal is to win the issue, but that's kind of where we are.
Thank you. Council? Thank you. Yes, Joe?
On a different issue,
Yes, ma'am.
just before we adjourn, I received an email, I think it was something Bill Lynn forwarded to all of us about one of the people not being paid yet. Has everybody been paid now? That's the committee.
I talked to Bill, at least on the stuff we're doing, to not send invoices out anymore. Cause whether he does that or not, I don't know. He's got a tendency to, yeah, and then do it anyway.
And did.
But I talked to Candy Thomas, and she likes the process. The invoices go from him to me, and then we review them stringently, and then we submit them to Candy. So if you see anything flying out over here from Bill.
So, can I finish that? Can we rest assured you're on top of that?
Yeah.
And the council doesn't need to worry about it at this juncture?
Now, please recall, 10% of his time, he's supposed to work for the whole council. So if a council member goes to Bill and works with him for something, that's beyond my control. But the 90% that he's doing for Orphan Well and for the Enhanced Oil Recovery coming up, he's supposed to send it to me and I send it to Candy.
Yes.
You're wording that you're okay with that process not going through you guys?
Yes,
Because
sir.
it's a grant.
Just because of the route in which he accepted. And I talked to the nation, and I actually didn't get to talk to Candy, but I did talk to Mr. Johnson, the others, and the treasurer. That's exactly the way we're going to process anything that you handle.
Now, could I ask that, was this a bill that for the plugging operations going on?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It was a bill we got we may have gotten that earlier this week. Did you see it too? Okay, so, I can't remember what it was for, but it kind of, I don't know, I don't care for sending that kind of stuff out either because it makes it look like we're not holding up our part of the deal, but there is a process to paying those bills.
The plugging of the wells is under Paul Revard, and Bill went out there and plugged the shambles situation, and there was billing coming through there. And I'm assuming that bill might be coming from that operation, which is not me. That's his 10% for the whole million counts.
Chairman, I'd like to,
Council.
just a suggestion, when this comes up again, I know there'll be emergency wells to plug again. Paul is the chairman of the Well Plug Committee. Now, Bill got involved with it. I was with him going out there. He was taking charge of that like he was us, you know. And he's just a part of that grant, so.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest from now on, the next time that happens, that you all take the lead on that, and that's possible.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, it might get out of hand again.
It will.
Because just
It
so,
was
excuse me,
IHS.
clarify,
It was IHS.
it's IHS, I think it's a service that he's using.
That's correct.
That wasn't the plugging, it was a,
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't remember till just now, but yeah, when those bills come out to the rest of us, it makes me wonder if we're taking care of our business.
Now, if I may, the
Yes.
IHS is part of his 10% for the whole council, so basically the question is, are we gonna pay it, or?
I signed it.
Yeah, it's been paid.
I took care of it. Is there anything else, gentlemen? I want to go to council.
She's fine, or
Yeah,
Councilwoman
yeah,
Hart's
okay.
fine, I'm fine.
it's not just the one thing, or the well plugging. Teddy Pledger, I'm not sure he's received his check yet, but it's, it's overdue for being.
That's
We
correct.
have multiple overdue bills on the summit, or did have. A lot of those have been cleared up, but I think it would be useful, since there is a process. I think there's a lot of confusion about what forms to fill out when and who approves them and all the processes. It would be nice for the council to have a walkthrough of the process, the entire process of getting an invoice paid. So we'll all understand that we're making sure the right forms are being filled out and, who approves. I'd like that on the next agenda.
Yes, ma'am. Councilman.
In defense of our group here, Minerals, I work for another entity that deals with procurement, and it is very slow. So a lot of the lag time we're experiencing is totally out of our house's control. It's happening over there. That's a big, big piece of it all, really. They're the ones making the decisions when you're gonna get paid or not. One of the bigger problems is if your numbers don't line up in the budget, they're not gonna cut the check. So just to be aware that just because somebody isn't paid doesn't mean that we can assume it's within our court. We also gotta consider accounting and procurement. And I'm telling you, like the clinic, I do know the clinic gripes because their checks are 2 and 3 months late. And they complain a lot, but I'm just repeating what I've heard. Some are better. I think ours is probably one of the better ones. Get people paid. There's departments where the process is really slow. So just to let you know that it's not just our house, everything's going through the nation to get the checks cut.
And I agree with Councilwoman Foreman on the 19th. We have another issue that's going to come up, and that's exactly this from procurement and the treasurer over the funding for the plugging. And we'll take that up. Lacey, make sure that we have the item on the agenda. We'll also give Councilman Revard a chance to review. But their process is how we're going to follow everything else. Anything to do with a federal grant or effort of that nature and expenditure of the federal funds will go through procurement. And I did talk to the chief and also Mrs. Thomas, but I just was able to leave her a message that we will go just like the treasurer. He sent us a pay schedule element, and we'll codify it down to plugging council and what you're asking, because I think that would be very helpful. I will say this, we did put the listing of all the invoices that we approved and sent to the nation procurement, and it was taken in and paid. But we did review those, and it was a lot of sticker shock. But that's the reality we're living in. Council.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Red Eagle. Thank you, brother. To adjourn, I have a second by Councilman Redcorn. And with that, call for the question.
Councilwoman Harlan.
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn.
Yes.
Councilman Red Eagle.
Yes.
Chairman Waller.
Yes.
Secretary Yates.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foreman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you so much, Council. We're adjourned.